Okay, EVS Notary here, part two to animals and notary appointments. So obviously, I don't typically ask during the initial scheduling of a notary appointment if my clients have pets. I honestly think and know that people are very close to their pets, so I don't want to offend anyone. And I just kind of play it by ear when I get there if I see a pet, right? So it happened this morning in my seller's package. I was greeted at the door. The husband had the dog, sweet dog, like in his arms, basically. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting ready to, basically put the animal up." I'm like, as long as they don't bite, I'm fine. So here's my tip or tips for dealing with animals. I treat it as another person that occupies that house, right? So when you go to someone's house, there's usually someone that greets you. Well, most animals think that know that they're the the protector of the house as well as their people, right? So all they want to know is, are you okay? Are you here to harm me or my people? So I always try to put them at ease, right? I smile. I think that makes a big difference. I ask for the pet's name. I use the name. If it's okay to pet the animal, I usually just try to rub their head just to let them know and unarm them that I am not a threat to them. So once I do that, I'll say, "Hey, Frankie," I think that was the last dog's name. "Frankie, how are you?" And I just greet them. I pet them. I smile. I look them in their eyes. And then typically they'll go about their ways. Now, sometimes when I get to the signing table, they of course are excited. It's commotion, right? It's a stranger in their homes. So they'll come up, they'll still be behind me. Sometimes they're on my heels. Sometimes they're trying to jump on my lower leg, not me personally, but they're just trying to keep my attention, right? So I'll just all along say, "Hey, Pat or Frankie, I am here to sign. So it's okay." And I'll say, "It's okay, blah, blah, blah." And then by then, that's giving the owners or the clients time to get them under control or to redirect them, right? So in this example this morning, they put Frankie down and he followed me to the signing table. He was excited. He, kind of jumped on my leg a little bit, and I just kept calling his name and trying to pet him as I'm walking to the table. And then the spouse came out, the wife, and said, "Frankie, go to your bed." When I tell you that dog looked at me and then marched around to his bed and sat there was no issue. And that's not the first time that's happened. Sometimes, that's not normal, right? For someone to say to go to your bed and they do it. This pet, it was very special. I thought it was really cute. But ordinarily, they'll try to get them calm and they will end up just sitting next to me and kind of overseeing what's happening, just kind of looking up at me periodically. I realize too that if I make a sudden move, that startles them sometime and they're on alert and they'll, pop back up. So I just try to, be subtle in my movements and all of that. I've had German Shepherds. I've had all kind of pets. I always have a friend that when we used to work together, she called him a horse dog. Those really big those really big dogs. I had one of those. Now I was a little scared, and I try not to show fear. And I think that's another tip. Try not to show fear. And again, I got that just like any other animal or dog or cat. I try to get that dog's name, and that dog surprised me. That's when I'm like, okay, is this me or is this? I don't know. I don't know how to still judge it, but that dog ended up kind of sitting about 2 feet away from me. Again, I think he was just guarding his people. He didn't bother me at all during that signing. When it was time to go, he's like, "Oh," he got up, walked me out to help walk me to the door, and that was that. So I always just try to be friendly, greet them, call them by their name, pet them if you feel okay in doing that, and the owners are okay with doing that. And just acknowledge what you're there for. I think they sense that, right? And I think they sense when someone's not there to harm anyone and they're okay. They just want to guard. It's their house too, so I try to make sure, I'm including them when I am coming in and going out. So those are my best practices, and I really got a good handle on that process, if you will, this summer. So I want to hear your thoughts. How do you deal with it, pets at a notary appointment?